The Bengals were back at practice on Sunday. The latest practice notes, plus an update on Joe Burrow, and much, much more following an eventful Sunday here at Paycor Stadium. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and buckle up because we're just 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away from the start of the regular season, and we're going to have you covered here on CBT all season long. So join the 37,000 plus subscribers that we already have and get Bengals coverage here on YouTube that you're not going to get anywhere else. And let's start with some news, some interesting news, certainly. Practice updates. Let's start with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was back at practice today. Joe Burrow was not at practice today. Injuries-wise, the Bengals cornerbacks really dinged up right now. It doesn't appear to be anything serious, and some good news on the cornerback front. But DJ Turner wasn't out there practicing. Marvell Tell the third, Sidney Jones the fourth, also not at practice during the team portion. And so what does that mean? That meant the veteran safety Mike Thomas played cornerback today. I thought that was pretty cool. He hadn't done that since his sophomore year of high school, he said. So that was a fun nugget from today. But the biggest news out of today's practice was Chidobe Awuzie. He took team reps in 7-on-7 for the first time. And it's just 7-on-7. There's no lineman in there, but it is great to see. This is just a couple of days after Zach Taylor said Cheeto was the only injured player that traveled with the team to Atlanta because he was so close to returning. So a really, really good sign with the start of the regular season, just a few weeks away. That said, let's get into some other, and I tweeted a clip of that, by the way, so you could check that out at James Rapien on Twitter. Let's get into some other thoughts. Joe Burrow continuing to progress. No true update, but to me, this is very much he's going to be back before week one. Take a deep breath. They're taking it slow. They're playing it slow, and they're playing it safe with Burrow. And part of why they should play it safe with Burrow is what we've seen from the backup quarterbacks. And it's a perfect way to go from Burrow, who, again, week one is the plan. Week one is the goal. We'll see on the contract stuff. I'll give some thoughts on that in a separate video at some point. But, man, oh, man, these backup quarterbacks, it's kind of wild right now. You got Jake Browning, who performed certainly better than Trevor Siemian on Friday night, threw an interception today to Mike Hilton, and he appears to be the leader in that room over Trevor Siemian to be the backup, but you don't feel great about it. Brian Callahan, we posted the video of him, the Bengals OC, said of course they are going to evaluate every position, and if there's someone they can add, they add them at any position. When asked about the potential of maybe going out and getting a different backup quarterback, but it's going to go down to the wire here. I don't think it's decided. I think it's up in the air. I don't think that there's panic in the building like there is outside about the backup quarterback situation. That said, it is unsolved, and it's something that leaves it's been a struggle, to put it lightly, in that backup quarterback room. That said, and it's the same, it's the quarterback room in general, but for the backup quarterbacks. That said, one of the bright spots of camp has been Chris Evans, and I think he's going to make this team. I wouldn't have said that a few weeks ago. I think he's certainly been more refined as a pass blocker. Brian Callahan praising him there, and just looks really comfortable running between the tackles, certainly more comfortable this year than he was in years prior. So Chris Evans is certainly someone that's taken a step forward. Other notes, thoughts, Jonah Williams. We posted a video with Jonah Williams, and he discussed playing right tackle for the first time, the importance of getting in-game reps. So make sure you check that out. Obviously, he came out of Friday's game feeling really good about his performance, and he should because he performed well. That said, Joe Mixon, like I said, was back at practice today, and look, when it comes to Joe Mixon, all offseason long, I felt like I've been pretty honest about Joe Mixon's situation, whether it was the two issues, the one that happened at his house, the aggravated menacing charge. It's not like we covered that super in-depth and got into all of the details or anything like that, partially because, we weren't going to go to the court case. This isn't court TV. This is Cincinnati Bengals talk. And so we didn't do that. We covered it from afar. But I was on record saying there's no way I would bring Joe back at the number he was set to make, over $10 million, a $12 million cap hit. There was zero chance I would do that. And That's one of those things where Joe Mixon today declined to talk to reporters, said that there were certain guys, or certain reporters rather, that he did not want to talk to at all. And I think Cincinnati Bengals talk might be on the list, but that's okay. If I'm on the list, it's not a huge deal. We'll certainly, when Joe Mixon does talk, have video of Mixon talking. But I do think it's interesting because there's a lot of discourse about his future. I always try to approach it to be fair, and so we'll see there what happens, but he was back today as RB1. The battle behind him is certainly interesting going into Monday's session. Will Travion Williams start to get team reps and get in the mix? Do they just kind of slide him onto the practice squad now? Because Chase Brown's making the team, continues to show improvement, continues to grow as a player, and I think Chris Evans is a lock at this point. I think he's very valuable to what the Bengals are going to do in their plan. So we will see what happens with Travion Williams. They could just keep 4 running backs and go that route. Certainly an option that's on the table. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and we're going to have you covered throughout practice. And make sure you join us, Aces Pickleball, on Tuesday. We'll be there at 6 o'clock. The event starts at 4. Cincinnati Bengals Talk will be there at 6. I'm going to go one-on-one with Orlando Brown Jr. He's going to be signing some autographs afterwards. It's going to be a meet and greet. It's going to be a really, really fun time. And there's going to be a raffle that benefits charity, the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. There's just a ton that's going on. It's in Norwood. The details, well, you see them right there on your screen. So we will see you on Tuesday. We will be back at practice on Monday. And until next time, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien signing off for now on CBT, Cincinnati Bengals Talk.